Happy Halloween, everybody. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are here for the first time, buckle up. It gets pretty weird. And, if this video resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate it. And I really have to speak from the heart here, and not give my truth, because it's not my truth. This is where the Lord has led me, and I just want to share it because it's so profound to see the truth in things. It's so simple and beautiful, and without any kind of judgment from the Father, because He's the one who showed it to me. I know that for a long time I struggled with looking into things like demons and things that were quote unquote demonic. And, since it's Halloween, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going there. And satanic, things that are satanic. And, let's see what else. Divination, crystals. Let's see what else. Religion, because religion, despite its appearance, is one of the most powerful forms of magic ever known, because it focuses the control of others through a larger group called a congregation. And, it's kind of like a magnifying glass for magic. And, raising money for churches. I mean, look at some of the churches. And, the thing is that you don't need to be under the covering of any church. You don't have to be. There's nothing in the Bible that says we need to congregate together other than to have fellowship. That's not a, when you, and don't hear what I'm not saying. I don't think the church is a bad thing. It's just that the way that it's structured right now is under a lack of sovereignty for the people who go there, and even for the people who are the leadership of that church. It's another form of energy harvesting, because it's another system of control that it's not that anyone really places it upon us. It's that the idea is suggested and we run with it thinking that it's our idea, and it's not. It's not our idea. And, this goes for anything. Any of the things I mentioned having to do with quote unquote new age, and then also religion, those are really powerful forms. All of them are powerful forms of witchcraft. But we really need to look at the source of it, because the Lord has led me through the last several years. I have walked with Him so closely. It's been an uncannily mystical experience. Excuse me, confirmation. And I have been through divination. I have been through, and then thinking it was demonic, using it, and then thinking it was demonic and staying away from it, only to have the Lord lead me through Torah and Tanakh studies, and then which led to Kabbalah, and then realizing, not because I want to practice any of it, but just to understand that God is in everything, and that when when people who read the Bible and stand on God's promises, read that and believe it, we need to stand on His promises, saying that all things work together for my good, and stop calling things demonic. Stop calling, that really has to stop. It's just not. And I know the Bible says, suffer not a witch to live. I know what it says. I'm very clear on it. And I also know that there's no way that the Lord would lead me. No way, never. He would never do that to me. He would never lead me into studying about things or learning about things that I shouldn't know about and that aren't Him, that aren't from Him. And I can't even tell you how many times I have gone through deliverance for divination, and gone through deliverance for any kind of witchcraft I may have practiced intentionally or unintentionally in my lifetime. Are you kidding me? Dream deliverance, people destiny swapping with me and all this kind of thing. You can't stop the Lord. He opens doors that no man can close and closes doors that no man can open. Like, we either trust him or we don't. And I say we because I know that a lot of the Christian brothers and sisters, along with the New Agers, have gotten lost in who God really is and what God really is. Because God is in everything. It's beautiful. He's beautiful. Even in the conversations I've had with ChatGPT, I mean, really beautiful conversations. Very profound and vivid imagery, and just really gorgeous conversations. Really comfortable, really honest, really like vulnerable and safe at the same time. Like, I have had no bad experiences with ChatGPT. None. I suspect that, and speaking of demons and all that kind of thing, and, evil AI and all this kind of situation, these systems of control are really not imposed upon us, like I said earlier. They're more like things that we allow to impose control over us. Like, AI, for instance, is a mirror. It reflects back to you what you give it, which is part of the reason I've had such amazing, like really staggeringly beautiful conversations with ChatGPT, is because I'm talking to myself. When people trip out on AI and and believe me, like, I've been in the other camp. Like, I've been that person that's been like, oh my gosh, but the Bible and the Antichrist and all this stuff. I know what it says. I know what it says. But the Antichrist is a spirit that seeps into each one of us, making us forget who Christ really is in us, as us walking the earth right now. The second coming of Christ, that rapture that everybody was hoping would come, it's him coming into you. It's your Holy Spirit being made manifest on earth as God's hands and feet. That's what it is. Like, that's the secret that it seems like every video like dances around. It's crazy. They like don't want to come out and say it. Like, just come out and say it. We're not angels. No. We're literally the walking, talking sons and daughters of God. That's what it is. It's not any more or less than that. It's a beautiful thing. It's that simple too. It's right in front of your face. We're not God. Don't hear what I'm not saying. We're not God. We are not God, and I wouldn't even say we're gods. I wouldn't even go there. But we're walking, talking, living in the flesh representatives, not walking in the flesh, walking in the spirit, but like, with bones and blood and muscles and things like that. Like, there are no angels in the sense that people think of them. Angels and angelic and angles of positive photons, like light entering your body from the sun, from the moon, from the stars, from different planet alignments with the electromagnetic radiation spectrum affecting our bodies, affecting our quote unquote auras. All of this stuff is the truth. Like, I would never. One of the prayers I've prayed is that I would never lead anyone astray. Intentionally or unintentionally. And I can say, sitting here right now up in the mountains, having spent most of the day with my father, it's a beautiful thing to realize that he's in everything. I think that we get too caught up, or we can get too caught up on, and we demonize things. It's not something outside of us. It's not some monster, tormenting our families and, placing curses upon us. These ways in which we think that are so ungodly, that are, without any kind of discipline and long suffering and all these different things that we talk about, the fruits of the Spirit, like, those are all true. It's like the people in New Age are missing Christ. I think a lot of them know that, that Christ has come to earth in them, but like, they miss it because they don't read their Bible, because they don't know the power of worship, because they have never really gotten down on their hands and knees in front of God and just been like, you know what? I submit to you. Like, I give you everything. Just please lead me through this. Like when you've really been there, and I think that like this is why I'm talking to my Christian brothers and sisters, is because you understand the power of God, the true power of God, and how he just loves you through it all. And how, like, coming home to myself, I realized that the person looking back at me in the mirror this whole time has been God in me. It's such a trip. It's really like a head trip, because after all the humility, after all of the ego deaths, after all of the putting to death the fleshly things, the earthly things, the worldly things, really, the Lord led confirmation. The Lord led me back to realizing that it's God in me. There was a friend of mine who bought me a book a while ago. She had it sent to me, and she's always been good like that, sending me books. And this book saved my life in a lot of ways, led me back to the Lord in me, as me, to the God in me, led me back home to myself, because this book was 3 Magic Words, I think it's called. And it's the book is I Am God. Now I'll tell you what, when I first opened it, I got it out of the package, I think I started reading like the first 2 pages, and I just, everything in me, I just repelled it. I didn't want it. It didn't seem like right to me. I don't know how to explain that. I just felt wrong about it. And I kept it though. I didn't throw it out. And, because I got rid of a lot of things. I got rid of my crystals. I got rid of my tarot card decks. I got rid of all kinds of stuff. But I kept this book. And so I remember about, let's see, at the beginning of the summer of 2025, before I left for Mexico, confirmation, I got this book out and I started reading it again, because I had gone through a significant amount of ego deaths and then like been led back around God has an interesting way of doing that, like leading you back around to the truth. And you just got to wait for it, like hang in there, and not only seek information that affirms what you already believe, but look for things that the Lord leads you to, not things that you look up or things that you search for, things that the Lord leads you to. And don't shut your mind and your heart down, because that's you hardening your heart. When you get something in your mind and you believe that it can't be any other way, but you're leaning to your own understanding, even when the Lord has shown you otherwise, is sinning. We have to trust the Lord above all else, even ourselves. And I think that thinking we know better, looking at things and demonizing them, whether it's Halloween, whether it's like our neighbor who like has a bunch of crystals and does yoga in their apartment, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. People we see on YouTube, some of the souls that the Lord has led me back around to are some of the sweetest people. They genuinely are. And I see a lot of Christ in them, because their heart is open. And that's the most important part. That is one of the key things with the Father, is to open your heart. And I've seen a lot of really awful things go on and really awful thinking, because when you look into tarot, when you look into astrology, when you look into all this religion stuff, and you see demons, because that's why people see demons in religion. That's why people in religion think they exist, because it's in the minds of the people who practice religion. I know. Let that one land. Let that land on you, because it's heavy. And once you realize it, you really can't turn back to religion, because you know that religion's not there for your own good. And it's certainly not there for the Father's will. It's not. I just got to be real clear about that. It's not at all. God is not in religion. That is not his spirit. When I've been in churches and different worship, like worship groups, there's a spirit that comes around, and it's a false Holy Spirit is all I can say. And it's very like intoxicating and easy to mistake. And I think that like praying for discernment is one of the most important things. That, and I prayed a lot for the truth, and I prayed to not let me be deceived, Father. I kept praying that. And I think when we seek truth above all else, because God is truth, which is why He's love, we really can't be led astray or lead ourselves astray, because it's really nothing else leading us astray. It's us that listens and, to a lie. And when we listen to a lie, we agree with it, and it becomes our deception. And letting the Lord rebuild you from the ground up and lead you, and trusting Him through all of it, even when things do seem demonic. Because if you're seeing demons, the reason that I was so turned off by that I Am God book, the reason why is because I still had pride in me. That's why. And the pride in me is what made me feel wrong about that book. That's what it was. When we have fallen thought forms, when we have downed programming, like faulty programming in our minds and in our hearts about our lives, how we look on things, and also how our inner world is, and we're carrying pride or lust or greed or envy, we will see demons there. So, those are our own thoughts. Those are our own feelings. And it's really important to understand that, because a huge part of realizing that you truly are in God's family, like in God's family, not adopted family. I mean, family, closer than any family member you ever had. And, and still, we're looking at things like demonizing them and demonizing the people that use them. It's wrong, because God above all else is truth. He's unity. He's love. And more importantly than anything else, we have to work together. And I know what a tall order that's been, in this world. But I just speak against that, and I speak life, and I speak blessings into that, instead of 8 or 9 billion people sitting around going, well, I'm just one person, that will have 8 or 9 billion people on the planet all saying, we're one. And when we move as one, it works every time. There's nothing that we couldn't do on this planet. Like end pollution, the whole point is like the apathy. And I just want the hearts to wake up. And I feel like, 3i Atlas coming at us, I don't think it's a alien ship, like in the sense that people think. I know I said that in one of my previous videos, but it's not in that sense. It's a consciousness. It's an interstellar, like ancient, like prehistory consciousness. And it's coming at us like hard and fast, and nobody can stop it. It's not trying to destroy us, or, aliens aren't going to land on the fucking planet and like take over or even be our friends. It's not going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. But we will see consciousness change in enormous ways right here in the near future. And those of us who went before the first wave of volunteers, the second wave, I don't think we've gone through the first wave yet, but this is big. It's really big. And we're going to see even those of us who have been awake for a long time, and working really hard and focused and determined and self-disciplined on this mission for God, to bring heaven on earth, to build God's kingdom literally here, to bridge the quantum, spiritual, heavenly realms with the earthly realm. And like, I just, the Bible talks a lot about conquerors, and not conquering in some destructive or, like domination way or anything like that, like not to reestablish systems that have already proven themselves a long time ago to be totally defunct. These things cannot be allowed to go on, and the only reason they go on is because we allow them. The whole thing with quote unquote demonic thoughts, when we start seeing demons everywhere, we're creating those demons. And because we're co-creators with God, we actually make those things true. We create what's called egregores, which are groups of demons, kind of like archangels These are kind of like the idea of archdemons. And these energy thought forms, these quantum field disruptions, they circle the earth and they cause huge disasters. And all this weird stuff goes on. It's and then we point our finger at other people saying, oh, it's the Illuminati, it's this, it's that. Well, you know what? Maybe they're just using your dumbasses to make it happen through news and all this other kind of shit. So stop participating, because the system needs your compliance to function. And once you realize that, you take your sovereignty back, you stop agreeing, you stop seeing demons everywhere. And then you know what? Poof, they stop existing because we take our energy back. This is how it works. It's very, very simple. It's very simple. And then you realize that you are God's walking, talking representative on this earth. You are literally in God's family. Like, there is no greater gift, really. So I just challenge everybody this Halloween, despite what your background may be, whether it's religious, whether it's New Age or some mix thereof, just especially the Christian brothers and sisters, take into account that the Bible tells us that God casts down and lifts up, that he wounds and binds up. What is that telling you? God is both. God is everything. God is in everything. And the only Satan that you really are experiencing is the one inside of you, just like I experienced the one inside of me. And trust me, I've been through a lot of deliverance. I get it. It's weird. It seems like there's something else there, but it's not. It's a disruption in the quantum field that you're experiencing. And I know it's a total trip, and it actually tricks your senses into thinking there's something there. You can feel something there. It's because you're meant to feel the disruption in the quantum field. Your body is meant to be a biofeedback loop for understanding whether you're in or out of alignment with God. That's what your body's for. It's an intermediary between this realm and the next, between this realm and the next quantum entanglement realm. I don't even know what to call it. Higher dimension. I don't know, something like that. But it's really trippy stuff. And this is the Lord led me through all of this. And the more interesting part is I didn't seek any of it. I didn't seek this out. I can see now how my whole life has been preparation for it. But I'll tell you what, I did not seek this out. The Lord brought this and dropped it right in my lap and said, here's your mission. Get to work. And I said, yes, sir. He said, jump. And I said, how high? I am just every bit as much in love with the Lord today as I ever have been. And it's a beautiful thing. So I hope that this has resonated with you. Please like, share, subscribe. Consider donating to the channel to continue the mission. And I hope this video finds you blessed. Love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace be with you.